Hey, bitch. Come here.
Knowing what they're doing, listening to them, that's really disturbing. Joining me this morning is Dr. Amanda Hanna, veterinarian and owner of Houston Spay Neuter. Dr. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate your time. I know you're extremely busy. You're in the middle of surgery, so we're not going to keep you too long.
Great. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate being here. Thanks.
Walk us through what happened over the weekend. We just got done listening and watching to the surveillance video. It's extremely disturbing. Are you able to make out what it is they are saying?
Not really. I think their moment of elation comes when they realize that there's a safe behind that blocked door. And unfortunately, that's when the video cuts out. But it took them seconds to get it into our controlled drug safe and get all of those controlled drugs, which I'm sure was a big score for them. You know, the real monetary loss for us comes with all of the other medications that they got that I think in the hands of an average layperson, they won't really know how to use pain medications, antibiotics, you know, skin medications, things like that.
When did this happen?
So we believe it happened around 3 a.m. Saturday morning. And they were definitely not anticipating us coming in over the weekend. It just happened that we were doing a feral cat event where we did 112 cat surgeries. And so we came in a day earlier than we normally would. So I'm glad, you know, we caught it earlier than we would have otherwise.
As soon as I got the tip yesterday, I sent it into our assignment desk and they acted on it really quickly. So we're appreciative of that. And thank you so much for allowing us to tell your story and hopefully get answers. Since we aired this story, we've been hearing from a lot of people, a lot of concerned community members throughout the greater Houston area, and they're asking, were any animals hurt during the break-in?
Yes, no, thank goodness. We had no animals on the premises. There were no people on the premises. So ultimately, you know, we got very, very lucky. It was only items that were taken, drugs. And while that concerns me because I don't want anybody to be hurt on the street by those medications, physically here at the clinic, there were no injuries to animals or people.
What are detectives saying? What are investigators saying? Is there anything that we need to be mindful, be on the lookout for as the public?
I mean, you know, thank goodness we had split up our controlled drugs, so it was not a huge stash of medications that they had gotten into. But it is enough, you know, we know that controlled drugs like ketamine and things like that are an issue on the street. That's standard fare for vet clinics to have that. Thieves know it. Unfortunately, we do the best we can to keep them out. You know, we're definitely going to be beefing up our security system from here on out. I've been open for 2 years and never had an issue with that. So, you know, I'll definitely be looking into a better security system to prevent this from ever happening again.
It's just a heartbreaking situation. I know you said it wasn't all of your medication. You keep them in 2 stashes, but still $20,000 to $30,000 worth of prescriptions and medications were taken. People are also asking, how can they help out? How can they get involved?
That's such a, you know, we're so lucky. We've had such an outpouring of love and support from animal lovers in the rescue community. You know, 80 to 90% of my business is rescue based. And so we've had you know, just great support from them. We've been able to kind of beg and borrow medications to kind of limp us through until our next order comes in. You know, I would say let's take care of each other better. You know, can we be better, you know, to each other? So maybe this kind of thing doesn't have to happen. That's what I would say. You know, we have insurance, so we'll likely, you know, be okay. And so, you know, now it's just going through, like, just knowing people are out there and supporting us is, you know, fantastic. That makes just, you know, makes such a tough time a little bit easier to weather.
Will you dedicate any sort of effort to be a fundraiser, so to speak?
We honestly, I haven't even been able to think that far yet. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you, where we're going. Like, it's just such an onslaught of emotions and whatnot right now. So honestly, I'm not sure. We'll definitely keep people posted on our Facebook page. But just like knowing people are out there and thinking about us means so much. So I can't thank everybody enough.
And remind us, what is your Facebook page and what is your URL?
So we're www.houstonspay-neuter.com, and then Houston Spay Neuter on Facebook. You'll find us there. And, you know, we're hooked up with a bunch of wonderful rescue organizations, you know, people who are doing so much in the animal community here in Houston. And so, you know, it's just, we're so lucky to work with that community of people and to be able to be helping them. And, you know, this is not going to slow us down. This is not going to make us stop. And we're going to keep fighting the good fight for animals here in Houston.
Well, and as thankful as you are for us, we are thankful for you. We so much appreciate the work you do in our community for our pets.
Thank you so much.